Welcome to American Accent Training. This book and CD set is designed to get you started on your American accent. Nationalities. When you're in a foreign country, the subject of nationalities naturally comes up a lot. It'd be nice if there were a simple rule that said all the words using nationalities are stressed on the first word. There isn't, of course. Take this preliminary quiz to see if you need to do this exercise. For simplicity's sake, we'll stick with one nationality, American. Exercise 133, Nationality Intonation Quiz. Pause the CD and stress one word in each of the following examples. Turn the CD back on and repeat after me. 1. An American guy. 2. An American restaurant. 3. American food. 4. An American teacher. 5. An English teacher. Exercise 134. Contrasting descriptive and set phrases. Repeat the following pairs. An English teacher teaches English. An English teacher is from England. An English book teaches the English language. An English book is on any subject, but it came from England. An English test tests a student on the English language. An English test is on any subject, but it deals with or came from England. English food is kippers for breakfast. An English restaurant serves kippers for breakfast. Intonation can indicate completely different meanings for otherwise similar words or phrases. For example, an English teacher teaches English, but an English teacher is from England. French class is where you study French, but French class is Gallic style and sophistication. An orange tree grows oranges, but an orange tree is any kind of tree that's been painted orange. Exercise 135. Contrast of compound nouns. In the following list of words, underline the element that should be stressed. Pause the CD. Afterwards, check the answer key beginning on page 193. Repeat after me. 1. The White House. 2. A white house. 3. A dark room. 4. A dark room. 5. Fifth Avenue. 6. Main Street. 7. A main street. 8. A hot dog. 9. A hot dog. 10. A baby blanket. 11. A baby's blanket. 12. A baby bird. 13. A blackbird. 14. A black bird. 15. A greenhouse. 16. A greenhouse. 17. A green thumb. 18. A parking ticket. 19. A one-way ticket. 20. An unpaid ticket. 21. Convenience store. 22. Convenience store. 23. To pick up. 24. A pickup truck. 25. 6 years old. 26. A 6-year-old. 27. 6 and a half. 28. A sugar bowl. 29. A wooden bowl. 30. A large bowl. 31. A mixing bowl. 32. A top hat. 33. A nice hat. 34. A straw hat. 35. A chairperson. 36. PhD. 37. IBM. 38. MIT. 39. USA. 40. ASAP. 41. A doorknob. 42. A glass door. 43. A locked door. 44. Ice cream. 45. Ice cream. 46. elementary. 47. A lemon tree. 48. Watergate. 49. The back gate. 50. The final year. 51. A yearbook. 52. United States. 53. New York. 54. Long Beach. 55. Central Park. 56. A raw deal. 57. A deal breaker. 58. The bottom line. 59. A bottom feeder. 60. A new low. Exercise 136. Description and set phrase test. Let's check and see if the concepts are clear. Pause the CD and underline or highlight the stressed word. Check the answer key beginning on page 113. Repeat after me. 1. He's a nice guy. 2. He's an American guy from San Francisco. 3. The cheerleader needs a rubber band to hold her ponytail. 4. The executive assistant needs a paperclip for the final report. 5. The law student took an English test in a foreign country. 6. The policeman saw a red car on the freeway in Los Angeles. 7. My old dog has long ears and a flea problem. 8. The new teacher broke his coffee cup on the first day. 9. His best friend has a broken cup in his other office. 10. Let's play football on the weekend in New York. 11. Jingle Bells is a nice song. 12. Where are my new shoes? 13. Where are my tennis shoes? 14. I have a headache from the heat wave in South Carolina. 15. The newlyweds took a long walk in Long Beach. 16. The little dog was sitting on the sidewalk. 17. The famous athlete changed clothes in the locker room. 18. The art exhibit was held in an empty room. 19. There was a class reunion at the high school. 20. The headlines indicated a new policy. 21. We got online and went to AmericanAccent.com. 22. The stock options were listed in the company directory. 23. All the second graders were out on the playground. Exercise 137. Descriptions and set phrases. Goldilocks. Read the story and stress the indicated words. Notice if they're a description, a set phrase, or contrast. For the next level of this topic, go to page 111. Repeat after me. There's a little girl. Her name is Goldilocks. She's in a sunny forest. She sees a small house. She knocks on the door, but no one answers. She goes inside. In the large room, there are 3 chairs. Goldilocks sits on the biggest chair, but it's too high. She sits on the middle-sized one, but it's too low. She sits on the small chair, and it's just right. On the table, there are 3 bowls. There's hot porridge in the bowls. She tries the first one, but it's too hot. The second one is too cold. And the third one is just right. So she eats it all. After that, she goes upstairs. She looks around. There are 3 beds. So she sits down. The biggest bed is too hard. The middle-sized bed is too soft. The little one is just right. so she lies down. Soon she falls asleep. In the meantime, the family of 3 bears comes home. The papa bear, the mama bear, and the baby bear. They look around. They say, "Who's been sitting in our chairs and eating our porridge?" Then they run upstairs. They say, "Who's been sleeping in our beds?" Goldilocks wakes up. She's very scared. She runs away. Goldilocks never comes back. Grammar in a nutshell. Everything you ever wanted to know about grammar, but were afraid to use. English is a chronological language. We just love to know when something happened, and this is indicated by the range and depth of our verb tenses. I had already seen it by the time she brought it in. As you probably learned in your grammar studies, the past perfect is an action in the past that occurred before a separate action in the past. Phew, not all languages do this. For example, Japanese is fairly casual about when things happened, but being a hierarchical language, it's very important to know what relationship the 2 people involved had. A high-level person with a low-level one, 2 peers, a man and a woman. All these things show up in Japanese grammar. Grammatically speaking, English is democratic. The confusing part is that in English the verb tenses are very important, but instead of putting them up on the peaks of a sentence, we throw them all deep down in the valleys. Therefore, 2 sentences with strong intonations, such as "dogs eat bones" and "the dogs will have eaten the bones," sound amazingly similar. Why? Because it takes the same amount of time to say both sentences since they have the same number of stresses. The 3 original words and the rhythm stay the same in these sentences, but the meaning changes as you add more stressed words. Articles and verb tense changes are usually not stressed. Now, Exercise 138. Consistent noun stress and changing verb tenses. This is a condensed exercise for you to practice simple intonation with a wide range of verb tenses. When you do the exercise the first time, go through stressing only the nouns "dogs eat bones." Practice this until you're quite comfortable with the intonation. The pronunciation and word connections are on the right, and the full verb tenses are on the far left. 1. The dogs eat the bones. 2. The dogs ate the bones. 3. The dogs are eating the bones. 4. The dogs will eat the bones. 5. The dogs that eat the bones. 6. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 7. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 8. The dogs have eaten the bones. 9. The dogs had eaten the bones. 10. The dogs will have eaten the bones. 11. The dogs ought to eat the bones. 12. The dogs should eat the bones. 13. The dogs shouldn't eat the bones. 14. The dogs should have eaten the bones. 15. The dogs shouldn't have eaten the bones. 16. The dogs could eat the bones. 17. The dogs couldn't eat the bones. 18. The dogs could have eaten the bones. 19. The dogs couldn't have eaten the bones. 20. The dogs might eat the bones. 21. The dogs might have eaten the bones. 22. The dogs must eat the bones. 23. The dogs must have eaten the bones. 24. The dogs can eat the bones. 25. The dogs can't eat the bones. Exercise 139. Consistent pronoun stress and changing verb tenses. This is the same as the previous exercise, except you now stress the verbs. They eat 'em. Practice this until you're quite comfortable with the intonation. Notice that in fluent speech, the th of them is frequently dropped, as is the h in other object pronouns, him, her. The pronunciation and word connections are on the right, and the tense name is on the far left. 1. They eat 'em. 2. They ate 'em. 3. They're eating 'em. 4. They'll eat 'em. 5. They'd eat 'em. 6. They'd have eaten 'em. 7. The ones that have eaten 'em. 8. They've eaten 'em. 9. They'd eaten 'em. 10. They'll have eaten 'em. 11. They ought to eat 'em. 12. They should eat 'em. 13. They shouldn't eat 'em. 14. They should have eaten 'em. 15. They shouldn't have eaten 'em. 16. They could eat 'em. 17. They couldn't eat 'em. 18. They could have eaten 'em. 19. They couldn't have eaten 'em. 20. They might eat 'em. 21. They might have eaten 'em. 22. They must eat 'em. 23. They must have eaten 'em. 24. They can eat 'em. 25. They can't eat 'em. Exercise 141. Supporting words. For this next part of the intonation of grammatical elements, each sentence has a few extra words to help you get the meaning. Keep the same strong intonation that you used before, and add the new stress where you see the bold face. Use your rubber band. 1. The dogs eat the bones every day. 2. The dogs ate the bones last week. 3. The dogs are eating the bones right now. 4. The dogs will eat the bones if they're here. 5. The dogs would eat the bones if they were here. 6. The dogs would have eaten the bones if they'd been here. 7. The dogs that have eaten the bones are sick. 8. The dogs have eaten the bones every day. 9. The dogs had eaten the bones by the time we got there. 10. The dogs will have eaten the bones by the time we get there. Exercise 142. Contrast practice. Now, let's work with contrast. For example, the dogs that eat the bones and the dogs that eat the bones are so close in sound, yet so far apart in meaning, that you need to make a special point of recognizing the difference by listening for content. Repeat each group of sentences using sound and intonation for contrast. 5. The dogs that eat the bones. 9. The dogs had eaten the bones. 6. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 7. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 4. The dogs will eat the bones. 5. The dogs that eat the bones. 6. The dogs that have eaten the bones. 8. The dogs have eaten the bones. 9. The dogs had eaten the bones. 10. The dogs will have eaten the bones. 5. The dogs that eat the bones. 11. The dogs ought to eat the bones. 24. The dogs can eat the bones. 25. The dogs can't eat the bones. Exercise 143. Yes, you can, or no, you can't. Next, you use a combination of intonation and pronunciation to make the difference between can and can't. Reduce the positive can to kun and stress the verb. Make the negative can't sound very short and stress both can't and the verb. This will contrast with the positive emphasized can, which is doubled, and the verb is not stressed. If you have trouble with can't before a word that starts with a vowel, such as open, put in a very small d. The keys can't open the locks. Repeat. I can do it. I can't do it. I can do it. I can't do it. Exercise 144. Building an intonation sentence. Repeat after me the sentences listed in the following groups. 1. I bought a sandwich. 2. I said I bought a sandwich. 3. I said I think I bought a sandwich. 4. I said I really think I bought a sandwich. 5. I said, I really think I bought a chicken sandwich. 6. I said, I really think I bought a chicken salad sandwich. 7. I said, I really think I bought a half a chicken salad sandwich. 8. I said, I really think I bought a half a chicken salad sandwich this afternoon. 9. I actually said, I really think I bought a half a chicken salad sandwich this afternoon. 10. I actually said, I really think I bought another half a chicken salad sandwich this afternoon. 11. Can you believe I actually said, I really think I bought another half a chicken salad sandwich this afternoon? 1. I did it. 2. I did it again. 3. I already did it again. 4. I think I already did it again. 5. I said I think I already did it again. 6. I said I think I already did it again yesterday. 7. I said I think I already did it again the day before yesterday. 1. I want a ball. 2. I want a large ball. 3. I want a large red ball. 4. I want a large red bouncy ball. 5. I want a large red bouncy rubber ball. 6. I want a large red bouncy rubber basketball. 1. I want a raise. 2. I want a big raise. 3. I want a big impressive raise. 4. I want a big impressive annual raise. 5. I want a big impressive annual cost of living raise. Exercise 146. Regular transition of nouns and verbs. In the list below, change the stress from the first syllable for nouns to the second syllable for verbs. This is a regular, consistent change. Intonation is so powerful that you'll notice that when the stress changes, the pronunciation of the vowels do too. Repeat. An accent. To accent. A concert. To concert. A conflict. To conflict. A contest. To contest. A contract. To contract. A contrast. To contrast. A convert. To convert. A convict. To convict. A default. To default. A desert. To desert. A discharge. To discharge. An envelope. To envelop. An incline. To incline. An influence. To influence. An insert. To insert. An insult. To insult. An object. To object. Perfect. To perfect. A permit. To permit. A present. To present. Produce. To produce. Progress. To progress. A project. To project. A pronoun. To pronounce. A protest. To protest. A rebel. To rebel. A recall. To recall. A record. To record. A reject. To reject. Research. To research. A subject. To subject. A survey. To survey. A suspect. To suspect. Exercise 147. Regular transitions of adjectives and verbs. A different change occurs when you go from an adjective, or a noun, to a verb. The stress stays in the same place, but the MAT in an adjective is completely reduced to mt, whereas in a verb, it's a full A sound, mate. Repeat. Advocate. To advocate. Animate. To animate. Alternate. To alternate. Appropriate. To appropriate. Approximate. To approximate. articulate, to articulate, associate, to associate, deliberate, to deliberate, discriminate, to discriminate, duplicate, to duplicate, elaborate, to elaborate, an estimate, to estimate, graduate, to graduate, intimate, to intimate, moderate, to moderate, predicate, to predicate, separate, to separate. Exercise 148, regular transition of adjectives and verbs. Mark the intonation or indicate the long vowel on the italicized word, depending which part of speech it is. Pause the CD and mark the proper syllable. See answer key beginning on page 193. Repeat. 1. You need to insert a paragraph here on this newspaper insert. 2. How can you object to this object? 3. I'd like to present you with this present. 4. Would you care to elaborate on his elaborate explanation? 5. The manufacturer couldn't recall if there'd been a recall. 6. The religious convert wanted to convert the world. 7. The political rebels wanted to rebel against the world. 8. The mogul wanted to record a new record for his latest artist. 9. If you perfect your intonation, your accent will be perfect. 10. Due to the drought, the fields didn't produce much. 11. Unfortunately, City Hall wouldn't permit them to get a permit. 12. Have you heard that your associate is known to associate with gangsters? 13. How much do you estimate that the estimate will be? 14. The facilitator wanted to separate the general topic into separate categories.